booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching James Flicks Courage, and today I'm going to be doing a book discussion over Angelfall and World After, both by Susan E. And so first we're going to have a bit of a non-spoilery section for those of you who have not yet read Angelfall, so let's go ahead and start with that. So this trilogy is called Penryn and the End of Days, and this first book, Angelfall, follows the main character of Penryn and her mother and her little sister, and they live in this post-apocalyptic world of California. And right at the beginning of the story, her handicapped little sister is taken away by some evil angels, and so Penryn just witnessed an angel actually getting its wings cut off, and so she ends up banding together with this angel named Rafi, and the story just blossoms from there. I really enjoyed this book and also the second book, World After. The third book is actually coming out in May, but so far I've given both of these books 5 out of 5 stars. They're amazing, I love the world, the characters, it's just really interesting and definitely very different from anything I've read before. So if you have not yet read Angelfall, then I would click off this video now because that is it for the non-spoilery section. Definitely come back after you've read Angelfall and so then we can talk about this and really discuss this book. So first let's talk about Penryn. She is a typical type of girl that I really like to read as a main protagonist. She is very strong, also very stubborn and witty, and she's just really awesome overall. I really like the aspect of her having taken all these classes to defend herself against her mother and anyone else. So she has already been trained to be a kick-butt character. So it's not like most female protagonists where they just suddenly have these amazing abilities. Penryn has actually had training her entire life. I felt like she was on a very noble quest to find her little sister and to save her. And she was just such a determined character, so I just really enjoyed her character overall. And then we have Rafi, who's the angel, and ever since the beginning, whenever he came to this book, I just loved him right away. Like, yes, maybe the angels are supposed to be bad people, but I just can't help but love Rafi. He's just an awesome guy, and I just love that he has a bunch of cliche sayings and pun jokes, and it is just so funny that he has these weird quirks to him that make him seem like he's almost human, and that really confuses Penryn as well. I've never actually read a post-apocalyptic book, nor have I read any that involve angels, so the fact that this had both was just amazing. I didn't realize how much I would love both of those elements, but it just made me really enraptured in this story. I was just really sad that it had to end eventually and that End of Days is not out, but I really enjoyed this. One of my favorite quotes from this book is, "You know the world has ended when manual labor in America is cheaper and easier than using machines," because that is so true for Americans. We don't really do anything that causes us to do more than we have to. We just do it the easy and cheap way, and so that is just so funny that that was mentioned in this book. And also, he kisses me with the desperation of a dying man who believes the magic of eternal life is in this kiss. Like, how sweet and swoon-worthy is that quote? I just loved it so much. Even though Rafi just kind of turned away from her after that, I just felt like it was definitely a very sweet moment that they really had together. And that was really one of the only romantic moments that we've seen so far between Rafi and Penryn. And that's really all that I want to say about Angelfall. Now I'm going to go on to talking about World After. So first I'm just going to give a brief synopsis over World After, so you can stay for that, but then I'm going to be going into some spoilery things about World After. So at the ending of Angelfall, we see that Penryn looks like she's completely dead, and Rafi believes that she's no longer alive, so he leaves her with her family, and that's exactly where World After picks up, and I kind of like that because the story is so action-packed and intense. There's never a dull moment within it. I liked this book a little bit less than Angelfall, to be honest, mostly because a lot of it did not have a lot of Rafi. Still, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I didn't really like the non-Rafi parts as much, but the ending really did definitely make up for that. And that's all I want to say that's non-spoilery, so if you haven't read this book yet, then definitely click off and then come back after you've read it. Okay, so now let's talk about some spoilery things. First off, I felt like this book definitely did the creepy factor even better than the first one, which is amazing because the first one was super creepy, but this one involved her sister, and her sister is doing some creepy things, and then just overall in society, just weird, horrible things are happening. Obviously, my main problem with this book is that Rafi was not there through the majority of it, and I just wanted him to come back, and I just kept waiting, but of course he didn't because in a realistic situation, he didn't know that Penryn was alive, and so of course he wouldn't come back. That one makes sense. I feel like this is definitely very realistic for the story and for what the characters do. That's what I feel like anyone in those situations would be doing. It feels like all these books are just based around Penryn running after Paige, and so pretty much the exact same thing happened in this one, except in a completely different way. I thought it was very interesting to see the inside parts of what's really happening within Angel Society, and also to finally figure out what happened to Paige in that horrible time. Although I feel like there's still something to know about, like why she has stitches all over her body. I feel like that still hasn't really been explained, but exactly what happened to her, where she went, that has been. As I said earlier, I also gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. So now let's talk about some things that we want to happen within the next book. I would love to hear what you want to happen in the next book as well. I definitely want to see way more Rafi and Penryn moments. I think that they finally have reached a stage in which they can just be together. Hopefully, at least by the end of days, they will be able to be together. Don't really know what's happening with Judgment Day. I'm thinking that it's going to have to be kind of a quick wrap up, because I think this was supposed to be more than a 3-book series, but she was only picked up for a trilogy, so obviously a lot more is going to have to happen in the next book. Hopefully it'll be bigger than these first 2, just so then she can fit as much as possible in the last book. I'm thinking that Paige is going to be able to get all the Scorpions to really go against their masters, because she obviously has this weird power that allows her to control the Scorpion locust sort of things, and obviously if they've gone against the Angels already because of Paige, then they can definitely keep on doing that. And I'm thinking that now, because Belial has finally died, that we can take the wings off of him and restore them to their rightful place on Rafi, hopefully, and he can be restored as an angel and as an archangel. But again, something's going to happen within the Angel Society, so then Penryn and Rafi can actually be together. Otherwise, they're not going to end up together, and I'm going to be just so sad about that. I just really want them to be together because they've gone through so much and they're just so sweet to each other, and it's just perfect, and there needs to be something very hopeful that comes out of this trilogy of post-apocalyptic books. I'm really excited about the 3rd one. I love the cover of it, and I just really think that it's going to be amazing, so hopefully it will not disappoint me and also many others of you that I know have loved the series as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would love to know what you think about what's going to happen next, and also your thoughts on both Angelfall and World After. I can't wait until End of Days comes out. I'm definitely going to be doing a book discussion over that one as well, and now I'm gonna go get back to reading.